Congratulations on the purchase of your Northern Industrial Tools Flux Core 125 Wire Feed Welder. This welder will help you attain professional looking welds under various different welding conditions. Let's get started by removing your welder from the carton. First, thoroughly inspect the exterior of the carton for any kind of shipping damage. Shipping damage claims should be addressed with your shipping provider. Remove the welder and accessories from the carton and properly dispose of the packaging materials. This welder package should contain the welding unit with an attached flux core gun and ground cable and clamp, a scratch brush, 2 extra contact tips, a sample spool of wire, the owner's manual, and the unit's handle along with the mounting hardware. Your operator's manual provides important safety information that can help protect you and others around you. Be certain to review all safety information so that you can be sure to safely enjoy your new purchase. Let's get started by installing the carrying handle for the unit. There are preset holes on the top of the unit that line up with the handle. Secure the handle in place using the supplied screws. Tighten with a screwdriver. Now let's take a little time to understand your welder. The on-off switch is in the upper center of the unit's front control panel. The voltage control switch allows you to choose from 2 different voltage ranges. The thermal overload indicator light will let you know when the unit needs to cool. The wire feed speed control knob will help you to vary the speed of the wire as it travels to the weld puddle. We'll discuss the proper settings of the wire feed speed control and the voltage ranges a bit later. The flux core gun delivers weld current and welding wire to the area being welded. The welding arc is similar to a light bulb in that it requires a completed electrical circuit in order to function. The ground cable and the ground clamp will complete that electrical circuit back to the unit. The side access panel opens up, giving you access to the wire compartment. Inside you will find the spool holder, the wire drive assembly, the overload reset switch, and the welder setup guide. On the back of the unit you will see the input power cord and the specifications chart. The welding process does produce sparks that may cause fires. Be certain to keep your welding area free of flammable materials. Make certain to have a fire extinguisher handy in the event a fire does occur. This unit uses electricity to produce a welding arc. To avoid electrical shock, make certain your welding area is dry. Never weld in a damp or wet and humid environment. The welding arc produces harmful ultraviolet and infrared rays. Be sure to properly protect your eyes and skin from damage. A welding helmet with an ANSI approved lens shade of at least 9 should be used. It is also recommended that you use a flame retardant cap, coat, and pants along with gloves to protect all bare skin areas. Keep other people away from you while you're welding. It's a good idea to use proper screens and other barriers to protect others from the welding arc. The welding arc also produces fumes and gases that can be harmful to your health. Be certain to weld in a well-ventilated area and use a ventilation device to remove the fumes if needed. Always inspect your welder before each use. Make certain the ground cable, power cord, and MIG gun are free of damage. Replace any damaged components prior to use. Be careful to make certain you do not accidentally come in contact with the welding wire or the ground cable and clamp while you are welding. You can also prevent injuries by being aware of moving parts and keeping your fingers away from the drive rolls. It is always wise to disconnect the power before maintaining or adjusting welder components. Use this rule of thumb. If the sheet metal needs to come off, bring it to a qualified technician. For more about safety, please take a moment to review the operator's manual. Now let's work on installing a spool of wire. Make note of the notch in the 8-inch hub adapter. This notch will align with the hole on the side of the 8-inch spool of wire. Slide the 8-inch spool onto the hub all the way to the back of the hub and secure. If you're using a 4-inch spool of wire, you will first need to remove the 8-inch spool hub adapter. Remove the wing nut washer, and the black bushing from the spool hub. Now remove the 8-inch spool adapter. Install the 4-inch spool wire so that the wire will feed off the bottom of the spool. Reinstall the black bushing, the washer, and the wing nut. Now we can feed the wire through the drive assembly and into the gun. Loosen the drive tension wing nut and open the drive tension arm. While holding the wire to make certain it does not uncoil, use a wire snips to free the loose end of the wire. Feed the loose wire end through the inlet guide next to the drive tension adjuster. Slowly hand feed the wire across the drive roll and feed the wire into the gun about 4 or 5 inches. Reinstall the drive tension adjuster. Next, you should remove the nozzle and the contact tip from the MIG gun. Turn the wire feed speed control on the front panel to approximately 5 or 6. Reconnect the input power and turn on the unit. Now pull the trigger on the gun so the drive rolls turn and the wire will automatically feed through the gun. When the wire has extended past the end of the gun, release the trigger and turn off the input power. Slide the proper size contact tip over the wire and secure the contact tip to the gun. Reinstall the welding nozzle and snip the excess wire past the nozzle. To make certain that the wire feeds smoothly and so it does not recoil on the spool, we need to adjust the spool hub drag. Turn the welder on and while watching the spool of wire, pull the trigger for about 2 seconds. When the trigger is released, the spool should continue to turn just enough to put a small amount of slack in the weld wire. If the spool turns too far, the welding wire on the spool will uncoil. With a heavy welding glove on one hand, pull the trigger, feeding the wire from the gun into the other hand. Keep the gun about 4 inches away from your hand. Adjust the drive tension adjuster until the wire coils in your gloved hand without the wire slipping in the drive rolls. Your machine comes with a handy setup guide on the inside of the wire compartment door. Find the material you are welding and the size of the wire that you are using. Set the voltage and wire feed speed on the front control panel using the settings on the charts. You may need to fine-tune your settings depending upon the welding conditions or the position you are welding in. Test out the settings on a scrap piece of material. Your new welding unit is now ready to use. If you would like more assistance with the setup and operation of this welder, please call our welder helpline toll-free at 1-877-304-0294, or you can visit us at www.ntwelderhelp.com.